12 News at 10 with Mark Curtis and Caribe Devine starts now.
We begin tonight with a scathing report from the U.S. Department of Justice concerning Arizona's Department of Child Safety, the state agency that is tasked with caring for our most vulnerable children. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Caribe Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. The report found that DCS repeatedly violated the Americans with Disabilities Act and discriminates against parents and children with disabilities.
12 News journalist Bianca Bono is joining us live in studio tonight. And Bianca, we heard from a parent who knows all of this firsthand.
Yeah, that's right. As part of this report, the DOJ found DCS has failed to communicate effectively with parents and children with hearing disabilities. Cynthia Elliott says she and her family has experienced that for 20 years.
We got her when she was 4 years old.
Cynthia Elliott adopted her daughter through foster care. Her daughter is deaf and has other disabilities and is now 25 years old. Elliott says it's been a challenging 2 decades.
It's very difficult to deal with DCS.
In 2016, 12 News investigated Elliott's case. Her daughter had been taken by Arizona's Department of Child Safety because the state accused Elliott of bringing her to the hospital for no reason. In reality, she was trying to get her daughter the services she needed. Making matters worse, when her child was in the state's care, she couldn't communicate because they failed to provide an ASL interpreter for her.
She was in a local emergency room and was not provided ASL interpreting services, and consequently was left in a room, closed door, naked in a restraint bed.
It's stories like this one that prompted the U.S. Department of Justice to issue a report determining Elliott is not alone, that DCS violates the Americans with Disabilities Act and discriminates against parents and children with disabilities, specifically saying DCS failed to use interpreters to communicate with deaf parents, including in some cases when their children were being taken away. The DOJ also finding DCS denied parents with disabilities an equal opportunity to show they can parent safely, and says DCS isn't properly training its employees on how to work with parents with disabilities.
We're thrilled that the DOJ decided enough.
Lori Ford is the head of the Arizona DCS Oversight Group and says this report is long overdue.
Lots of talk, but no evidence of change, no evidence of righting their wrongs.
The report concludes with a list of action items DCS must follow to remedy its violations, including policy changes, training for staff, and regular status reports. The department must also designate at least one employee to oversee these efforts.
The DOJ needs to bring somebody in from the outside.
As for Elliott, she feels validated by the report, but believes there is more work to be done.
It's too prevalent in Arizona not to recognize the needs of those individuals.
And DCS did cooperate in this investigation, and now the DOJ is giving them 2 weeks from today to respond and let them know if they're willing to work with them. If not, the government could initiate a lawsuit against DCS to remedy all of those ADA violations. We're live in studio tonight. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Bianca, thank you. New tonight, a Tempe police officer is now out of the hospital after being shot in the leg by a suspect. Tempe police posted a video on social media today showing the officer on his way home to recover. The 10-year veteran was released from the hospital after getting leg surgery. Police have yet to release his name. He was shot during an investigation on Friday night near the intersection of Rural and Baseline. The suspect, 32-year-old Matthew Granado, was shot and killed by police during the incident. Crews are continuing to battle a wildfire about 3 miles west of Black Canyon City. The Bureau of Land Management tells us that the soap fire is about 620 acres and crews are fighting it from the air and the ground. So far, there's no word yet on any containment, but we're told that the fire is burning in a remote and steep area. Investigators believe it was human caused, but they're still investigating tonight.
All right, meteorologist Crystal Long standing by with our weather impact forecast. And Crystal, I cannot believe we are more than halfway through December and we're talking 80s.
It's hard to wrap your mind around that. I know, right? It actually feels more like early November, but we've got this record-breaking blitz that kicks off on Wednesday that will surely have us cracking into the 80s. Just to kind of get your bearings here, the typical high temperature this time of year is 65 degrees. So we're slapping on an extra 10 already tomorrow, and then we're increasing that once we get into your Wednesday and Thursday. In fact, look at Payson tomorrow. You've got 18 tacked on to your seasonal standard. This is an all Arizona deal, and you can see these numbers here taking you to near 80 degrees tomorrow already in Tucson. In fact, they achieved that today, and that was a record tie. 75 for Phoenix. Prescott on pace to pull off 63 tomorrow. More sunshine than anything for you. Extra clouds there in Flagstaff, 58 for you. Then looking ahead, Wednesday through Saturday, every single day would either meet or exceed that record. You could see Thursday's record is more than a century old. And then Saturday's record high was set just last year. Looking beyond that, your Christmas week, and then I'm going to flip this up for the week after that. Much of the country dealing with a high chance of above average temperatures. And then look at this. As we wrap up the month of December, it looks like the entire U.S. is going to be seeing that surplus on the thermometer.
All right, Crystal, thanks. Nationally, such a tragedy. 3 people are dead and 6 others hurt after a school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin. The shooter is among the dead, with Madison's police chief confirming tonight it was a 15-year-old female student. Earlier, Madison police executed a search warrant at a home as they try to piece together a potential motive for this shooting.
Many of you have asked me about the why of this. Why did this happen? What do we know? What was the motivation? I do not know. But I will tell you this, our detectives are working hard in the investigative process to find out as many answers as we can so that we can further prevent these things from happening.
President Biden released a statement calling the shooting shocking and unconscionable, adding, quote, "We need Congress to act now on gun reform." Back here in the Valley, developing news at the Vi Resort construction site on the west side. Glendale police say a worker is dead after falling 6 stories today. Investigators say it appears to be just a terrible accident, and police have turned the investigation over to OSHA. We've reached out to the resort for comment, but so far we have not heard back.
Now to a story that you'll only see here on 12 News. An East Valley swimmer who almost died from cardiac arrest while in the water was able to thank the lifeguards whose quick thinking helped save his life. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly was in Mesa for the reunion.
It was here at the Keno Aquatic Center where that man nearly lost his life. Today, he was able to thank those lifeguards as they were honored by the city.
Hi, everybody.
Meet Chris Sutton.
I'm the survivor.
This is his first time back at the pool in Mesa, where he nearly lost his life from cardiac arrest.
Doing better than last time you talked to me.
It was the day before Thanksgiving, when Sutton, a 30-year triathlete, was training at the Keno Aquatic Center like he usually does. But this time was different.
Feeling a little lightheaded, getting out of the pool.
He had a similar feeling a year ago, but it passed.
I thought this was similar to that, but it kept getting worse.
And we ended up calling 911 immediately.
4 lifeguards, including Heidi White and Allie Carr, raced to help.
He was upright talking to us at first, and it kind of just went downhill from there.
Sutton suddenly blacked out.
We felt his pulse was weak.
While White and Carr have never experienced anything like this, they knew exactly what to do.
So really, it was just like muscle memory of all the times that we had trained.
Bringing out a defibrillator to jumpstart Sutton's heart.
We shocked him twice.
When seconds mattered, their quick thinking gave Sutton enough time for paramedics to arrive and take him to the hospital, where he stayed for 4 days. Doctors telling Sutton he suffered from sudden cardiac arrest. Ultimately, he says they implanted a defibrillator in his chest.
So I won't need lifeguards all the time.
On Monday, those 4 lifeguards were honored by the city.
Hey, friends.
And able to officially meet the man they helped save.
I hope I didn't do that to you. That wasn't me kicking you or, okay, thank goodness.
It's really amazing to see how he went from what we saw that night to now.
Sutton and his family say if the incident happened anywhere else, he may not be here today.
Really appreciate it, thank you. On behalf of my family, thank you.
Thanking them for a second chance.
Glad I had the opportunity to thank them for their skills. Saved my life.
In Mesa, Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thank you.